Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while. I'm driving right now. I was supposed to do this like a sit down video, but since today's been kind of hectic and people were in and out of the house and stuff, it was kind of hard. And then I was gonna go outside and film like an hour ago, and then it started getting like dark and gloomy again, so yeah, I just decided that I was gonna start it now and then see where it takes me. But I'm not really I don't have nothing written down or anything, but I know what I want to talk about, and it's I don't know if I would call it like, it's not, I mean, it's a mental illness, I guess, like anxiety and depression, and that's what I'm going to talk about. And I'm not a professional, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I don't, so I'm just saying my personal experiences and what I have been going through, and what I do that helps me, and stuff like that. So yeah, I just want to start off by saying that I don't want to say I've had, like, it's not mine and I don't like to claim it. I had struggled with anxiety starting in 6th grade, which was 13 years ago. And I remember the first panic attack I had like it was yesterday. I remember where I was at. I remember where I was standing. I remember how I felt. Ooh, that was all zoomed in, sorry. We were living at my grandma's house because our house was getting built. And when I say our house, I'm saying my mom and dad's house. I had just got out of 5th grade. I was going to 6th grade, like the summer of 6th grade or something. No, it wasn't the summer. It was probably like springtime, because I was already in 6th grade. We lived there with my grandma in a 3-bedroom house, and there was like 14 of us. So that's already craziness. So many different attitudes and stuff, and it was just like a busy house. I got a phone call, sorry. But yeah, so like I was saying, yeah, so many different attitudes and stuff living under one roof. Like, it was just craziness, but yeah, and I've always just been a nervous person. Like, I just remember being little and just being nervous all the time, like just worrying about shit that I didn't even have to worry about, but anyway, I had a panic attack or anxiety attack, whatever, and I remember just saying, like, I'm gonna die, take me to the hospital, I'm gonna die. And my dad's like, you're having an anxiety attack. And that's the first time I had ever heard that. And I'm like, an anxiety attack? I'm like, no, you don't understand, I can't breathe, I'm gonna die. Like, it was the scariest feeling in the entire world. Like, I was so scared, like, and I kept saying, like, call the paramedics, I'm gonna die. And then my aunt was there, my mom's sister, and she was saying, like, you're not gonna die, you're having a really bad anxiety attack, you need to relax, you need to breathe. I didn't want to hear any of that. And my grandma was a pastor, so that day was a Wednesday, and she told me to let's go to church. And I went, and I remember I was just like kind of on edge, like the whole time I was at the church. And then they prayed and stuff, and I didn't know what anxiety was, to be honest with you. Like, I just thought it happened one time and that was gonna be the end of it. And I'm like, oh, like, thank God. That was scary, but it's never gonna happen again. Bitch, little did I know. I had to get off the car to do something, so now it's like all dark and rainy. So yeah, I thought that was gonna be my first and last anxiety attack. Little did I know that was gonna be something that I dealt with for a while. So the next day I went to school, and when I was walking out of school, this girl came behind me, and she not pushed me, but she like grabbed me, and she was hugging me. She's like, oh my God, because she barely moved back to that school, and that alone, like, it scared the shit out of me. And I was like, fuck, I'm getting this feeling again. Like, and I was fine all day at school. Like, I didn't have an anxiety attack. But I'm like, I'm getting this feeling again. I literally ran inside of the office. And I was like, call my mom. Like, everyone's like, what the fuck? Like, I literally didn't care who was around, who was watching me. Like, no, bitch, I was dying and you needed to fucking listen to me, like, now. Like, it's not funny. Like, it's really not. Like, I'm laughing now because it already happened. But, no, dude, it was very scary. And I was, like, 11 years old. 12, maybe. No, I was 11. And to be dealing with that shit, it was so super scary. Yeah, I was 12. I was so scared, and I'm like, why is this happening to me? Like, why? I didn't understand. So my mom came and stuff, and I was like, so once that happened, I'm like, this shit wasn't just a one-day thing. This shit is gonna keep happening. And I thought, like, I was like sick. Like, I thought something, like, no, this is not normal. So I always thought that I felt like I was swallowing my tongue. Like, I don't know how to say it. Like, I'll just be there thinking, and then I didn't eat carne asada for a year and a half because I swore I was gonna choke on carne asada. And I was just always overthinking everything, like, just paranoid, like, just really bad. Like, I'm gonna have an anxiety attack. Like, I would curl up in balls and stay home from school, and I would just cry and tell my mom, like, I can't go to school. So my mom let me, like, a couple days, but she's like, okay, Francine, like, you need to go back. And I'm like, no, like, I'm not going back. Like, I'm not going back to school. Like, it's not safe. Like, I would think all kinds of stuff. And then my aunt, which is my mom's sister, she didn't work, so she was home, and she would, like, tell my mom, like, no, like, it's a real thing. Like, don't make her go to school. And she's like, I'm gonna get in trouble. Let me just tell you that I missed 51 days of school that year. They sent letters home to my mom and dad. My dad didn't know that I was missing school. My mom was doing what she thought was best for me, staying home. She didn't want me. She couldn't be leaving work every day to come get me and rescue me. Like, every day when I came and said, Mom, like, come get me, like, she worked. And so and, like, homeschooling, independent studies was out of the question. Like, my dad, I have nothing bad to say about my dad, and I'm happy at the way he brought us up, like, in the way that he didn't, like, don't baby them, and in a way it's good, but it's like, Dad, like, these are real symptoms that I'm having. But he also battled with it, and I mean, sometimes he still does, but he's never taken medicine, and he's really, like, he didn't want me to get addicted to pills. He didn't. That was his biggest thing. My mom would take me to urgent care. She would take me to doctor's appointments. She would miss work. She would do whatever she could to make me feel better. Like, she had never experienced one before, so this was all foreign to her. Like, she didn't even know what the hell we were feeling. Like, to this day, I don't think she's experienced one, so she doesn't know. Like, even now, like, she understands because I tell her, like, I feel like this, and she's like, I know what you're feeling is real. Like, I know you're not lying, but I just don't know how you feel, and I don't know how to help you, like, you know? So, before I go any further, I'm just going to say that I can tell that this story time, whatever you want to call it, is going to be pretty lengthy. So if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to, but you can skip ahead. But, yeah, it is kind of long because I'm literally talking about 13 years of shit in one video. So, from 6th grade up until now. But yeah. Anyway, where I left off was, what was I saying? Oh yeah, that my dad, like, he battles with it too, like, anxiety. My mom doesn't understand really where we're coming from, but I mean, now she's gone to the hospital times for me. Now she knows, you know, like, and she just prays for me now, but, well, she always has, but I mean, like, that's all, you know, she can't do anything about it. So anyways, let me go back to 6th grade. So yeah, the doctor gave me pills. He's like, but like a small dose of I don't know what. And my dad threw them in the trash. He's like, you're not giving them to her. My mom said, I took one time. And I told my mom, it doesn't really help me that much. I just get a headache. So my dad's like, no, you're not going to take them. He threw them away. Like, he literally threw them away. And, so, I would take a water bottle every day to school. And I had a teacher, and her name was Miss Cooper. I had her for core 1, which means I had her for first, second, and third period. She was like an English language arts teacher. And let me just tell you that she was an angel from up above. This lady, like, I would have panic attacks, and when she would ask me, like, why are you missing so much school? Like, are you okay? And I would tell her, you know what she would do? She would hide me from the teacher. She would hide me from people. And this is real. This is a true story. And I've looked for her on Facebook. I've looked for her, and I can't find her. I still remember her first name and everything. She would hide me in her classroom so I could just go to school, and she would talk to my other teachers, and she would bring me a packet full of work from all my teachers and explain what was going on. I would go in the teacher's lounge with her, and everybody would be looking at me like, why is she, like special treatment or what? But no, they didn't even know what was going on. And Mrs. Cooper was just like, she was so super nice to me. She was so understanding. She's like, I know exactly where you're coming from. I know exactly. She would have me sit there with her. She would and she's like, and if you feel uncomfortable, or when she wasn't there, she would talk to the librarian, and I would go sit in the library and I would do my work there and stuff. And then she talked to my counselor, which at that time was Miss Contreras. And yeah, I didn't they took me out of PE, and I would just go, I would have to do like what's that called, like an office aide, like go take notes to different classes, or if kids needed to go home early and stuff like that. And then also I would go to the library and do library aide instead of going to PE, like stuff where where it was not so crazy and not so much noise and stuff. And she really helped me a lot. Like, I love her so much, and I still, like, I think about her often, and I just think, like, man, like, she was an older lady, so I hope she's still living. But yeah, anyway, shout out to Miss Cooper. She was a real one for sure. It's raining like harder now. But anyways, yeah, guys, so that was 6th grade. And then like, I wouldn't want to go anywhere. Like, my mom and dad bought a 2-story house, and I would cry to my grandma telling her that I didn't want to leave there because I was scared. What if there was something happening, like a fire or something, and I had to run downstairs? And it's just, I get really bad anxiety there. It was too big. It was like I was going to get lost in the house. Oh my God, now I see my mom's house, and it's like, to me, it's tiny. Like, it grew out of the house already. But these are the things that would go through my head. And then somebody in my family had passed away, and we had to go up north. And I was telling my mom, like, I'm scared, that she didn't want to take me with her because she was scared I was gonna jump off the car. And not because, like, people probably think like, oh, like, this is more than anxiety. No, because I would get so anxious. Like, I just wanted fresh air. Like, I just wanted to be out. I just wanted to be, you know what I mean? And I hope that one day I could make a video and say, this is all behind me, but this is still something that I battle with daily. And I battle with today, and I battled with yesterday, and it's just very hard. And it's hard for me to even make this video because I ain't no punk ass bitch. Like, I'm strong. I am strong, and I push myself to do what I have to do, and I know what I have to do. But some days are hard. I'm human just like everyone else, and I might cry in this video, I might laugh in this video, I don't know. But this is my life, and this is how it is right now, and I just have to go with it until something changes. But I'm getting home now, so I'm gonna continue the video inside because it's like raining like crazy. I love this weather so much. Like, I don't care how cold it is. Like, I just love this weather so much. I'm gonna continue my story in a little bit. Guys, I know obviously it's another day now, and this story time is taking longer than expected, but that's because that was 2 days ago when I started recording. That day it was raining, and then yesterday family came over, and then it was my nephew's award ceremony and stuff like that, and I didn't want to be rude and just be in the room. So finally I'm getting back to it, and where I left off was that that some days are good, some days are bad. Sometimes I cry, sometimes I laugh, and sometimes I can go months and months and months without taking medicine. I can go months and months and months without not worrying, because I think all of us worry sometimes. but yeah, just sometimes it's better than others. But anyways, so that was like in 6th grade, and then one day I just stopped having anxiety. So then I'm obviously recording outside, so it's like loud because people are riding their bikes right here where I live. So anyways, I went to high school, and when I went to high school, I only went like, I think 2 days. I went the first day, and I had really bad anxiety, but I think it's because it was super crowded. And I called my mom and I told her, like, I want to go home now. She's like, you need to stay the rest of the day. So I stayed the rest of the day, and at that time my mom worked kind of like catty corner from where I was going to school, so I walked there after school, and then I was like, I don't want to go back to that school. And then she's like, oh, here we go again. So then the following day I called again, and then she called my dad and she said, you know what, I can't be leaving work. This is already enough. Like, even though I hadn't done it in 3 years, my mom already knew where it was going, and she said that she couldn't be missing work. And then so my dad's like, you know what, do whatever you want. And he just hung up. Like, he was upset about it because he said that it's not normal for kids to be in home studies and not interact with other kids, and not, like, he didn't understand, you know. And like I said, he deals with it too, and he said, like, I had to go to school, and there was no such thing as like, oh, I'm having anxiety. Like, you know, his mom didn't believe anxiety. Like, no, it's in your head. Like, you need to get up, you need to go, you need to. He would tell me stories, and I'm not going to get into detail about it, but he would say, like, he was scared, you know. He was in Mexico and he was scared, and he knew how I felt, but he didn't want to, like, baby me, if that makes sense. Like, oh, okay, let's take her to the doctor, let's put her on this, let's put her on that. He's like, no, like, you need to know that you're okay. So that's the way my dad would think. So I went into independent studies, and then my mom said, okay, but the new school by our house is opening, and next year you're going to school. And I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, like, oh, okay, like, next year she's not even gonna care, you know. It's already a year, and I'm just gonna get used to staying here, and she's gonna forget about taking me to the new school. No, bitch, she didn't forget. She took me to go sign up, and this school, now it was too big. First, the other school was too small, supposedly. Now this school was too big for me. It's 2-story, it has elevators, like, here we go again. And this is 10. Now I'm in 10th grade. Now I'm a sophomore. I'm in 10th grade, and now all of this is happening over again. And I went to school. I think school by then started already. We starting earlier, so I think I started like in August, so September, October. I went to school for 2 months. I went to school for 2 months, and then my sister was pregnant at that time with my niece Olivia, and I would cry, yes, in 10th grade. I would cry to my dad and tell him, like, Dad, I can't go to school, like, I don't want to go to school. I would try to think any possible way, like, I'll clean the house, I'll have it, like, in order, I'll have everything done, like, I'll do everything. No, you need to go to school. Like, that's not your job to stay home and clean. It's not your job. No, you need to get your ass to school. Like, that's what he was. So again, here my mom went again. Now I'm far away from her work. She still works at the same place, and I would call her. Like, no lie, my mom would just say, okay, well, just please go to school and call me early. But how can you go through the whole year of school getting picked up at second period every day? Like, you can't. So, okay, like, this, how long is this gonna last for, you know? So my mom was doing that, and then some days when I was really bad, I would get ready. I would get ready for school. My little brother would get ready for school, and since he skipped a grade, he was a grade under me. And she would tell him, like, if you open your mouth and tell your dad that she didn't go to school, you're gonna get in trouble. Like, you shut your mouth. So my mom would take him to school and me to school, supposedly. And then, so because my dad and us left at the same time, so my mom would drop us off at school, supposedly. But she would really take me to work with her, and I would be in the back with her, and I would, like, do whatever I had to. Like, I would help her, like, file stuff or do stuff in the back, or, like, yeah, like, stuff like that. But finally, like, how long can I go with that? I was failing, and keep in mind that I'm not, like, the smartest person ever, but I had good fucking grades, like, all the time. It isn't, even when I started college, even when I've always had really good grades. Okay, I had an F in math, I had an F in English, because a big part of our grade, Panyo, stop. Just going crazy. Relax. A big part of our grade was doing presentations. I was not going to go in the front of the class, and they told me, Ponyo. These dogs are driving me crazy, digging up everything. So yeah, they told me that I was gonna fail the class if I was not gonna do presentations, and I didn't care. Like, I did not care. I told my mom, you're gonna see F's on there, and I'm not gonna bring them up because I cannot go in front of the class and do a presentation. I can't. And then in math, I could not concentrate. I told my mom, I swear I don't care if I don't graduate. I was telling her, like, I don't care. And what do you mean you don't care? I don't care. I'm not gonna graduate, and I'm telling you right now because I have pure F's. Because I hate school so bad. She's like, what do you mean, Francine? And I'm like, I'm telling you, like, I sit there and she's like, what do you do all day? I'm like, stare at the clock so I could leave. And then she was like, and I wouldn't eat lunch. I wouldn't anything, you guys. So anyways, even my aunt, one of my aunts was talking to my dad and saying, you know, school's not for everybody. Like, you know, somebody I know is in home studies and this and that. And he said, you know what? That's your problem. Like, he even got mad. Like, you worry about yourself, and you don't, like, he didn't want to hear nothing from anybody, you guys. Like, nothing at all. And like I said, my sister was pregnant at this time. Thank God for Olivia being born, because bitch, Olivia saved my life. My sister went, like, we ran out of ideas, dude. We were trying to get creative with everything we fucking could, and my sister was all like, what if I go tell my dad that I'm not gonna have a babysitter and I'm gonna have to quit my job if nobody's there that I don't trust nobody to take care of the baby? And I was like, yes, like, can you please do that? And then, because the year before that, I had since I was in independent studies, she had Eli, so I would take care of Eli. But then she started taking him to babysitting because my dad said I had to go to school. So he went upstairs, and my dad just stayed quiet, and he was hiring the TV. And Bianca was like, oh, Dad, like, I need to talk to you. Like, he told him, and then he's like, yeah, I guess, because my sister said that she was not going to be able to afford it, supposedly. But she was just saying that because she wanted me, she was trying to help me. So thank you, Jesus, for Eli and for Olivia. They saved my life. I was like a teen mom. I would be home with them and go to independent studies and go take my homework and all that. And I did that the rest of 10th grade, and then in 11th grade I went to Amistad, like the continuation school, but for independent studies only. And I would finish my homework so fast, like super fast. And then I graduated a year and like a year and a half early. And yeah, so after high school, I graduated in 2011, and then I was okay until 2012. I started college. I went, and there it went again. I had started getting anxiety again, dude. Like, again. It was like, but this time was the first time that I started taking anxiety medicine. I went, and I had a doctor named Dr. Kondowski, which is already retired, and he was the best family doctor ever. And he would sit there, and he didn't care if other patients were waiting, and he would sit there and be like, you're not going crazy, these are real symptoms, everything's gonna be fine. He would say, he was like so nice, like, and he's like, I'm gonna give you this and you're gonna be fine. Oh my God, dude. I went through college, like, I didn't finish, but not because of anxiety. Like, it was because of other things that were happening at that time that I just stopped going to school. But dude, it helped me, and I wasn't abusing it. I wasn't, you know what I mean? Because I am so scared to take anything like NyQuil or anything. I don't like to take that stuff. But now I am like, okay, well, I'm not gonna be addicted. And and to this day, I have such a big fear of becoming addicted to prescription medicine that I know that I'm not gonna get addicted to it. You know what I mean? Like, I know I don't have an addictive personality, and it scares me. Like, I always read the labels on anything. I just don't like it. So I don't have addictive personality of medicine. I mean, I wish I didn't have addictive personality of food, but I fucking love food. I just pierced my nose yesterday, and my thing keeps coming out. I'll be right back. And I was with my husband at this time. He wasn't my husband, he was my boyfriend. And probably like 5 to 6 months after we started dating, I started with the anxiety again, but I think it was just a mixture of things. And then on top of that, it was like I was already grown up, like I was already an adult, so I had more responsibilities and I had more this and that, and it was like fuck, like it was a lot of things that were on my plate. And it was true what my dad was saying, like when you don't go to school and stuff, you're not used to the real world, you're really not, like. And so that's what I know what he means. And a lot of people have different opinions about stuff, but like I said, I am happy that my dad was like hard on that way as much as he could until we did talk him into it. But he was right, like once it was a real like shit, well I was gonna have to go, how am I gonna do home studies, college too, like I had to go to school. So yeah, so I started having like anxiety and stuff, and I thought that it was a behind me again, like I always thought that it was behind me. And then so now I've been married for, it's gonna be 7 years, and it's pretty much, I've had anxiety every year since I've been married, but it's not all year long. Sometimes I only get it three times, like 3 months out of the year, 6 months out of the year. Like I'm not always on edge. I'm not always like, I go through phases, and I have, you know, I have seasons that I have it and I don't have it, and sometimes I'm depressed and sometimes I'm okay, and sometimes, you know what I mean? So I had to learn to take a deep breath in and out, and that it didn't kill me before and it's not going to kill me now. But yeah, that's pretty much how it's been for me. And some symptoms, I don't think I've said some symptoms, but the most common symptoms like palpitations, rapid heartbeat, clammy hands, and then your hands get cold, and then heaviness in your chest, and lightheadedness, shortness of breath, dizziness, like weakness, numbness in your hands and feet. And when I tell you these symptoms, I get every single one of them, but at one time. It's called an outer body experience, and just look it up. But it's hard because I would say when I barely started, I would tell my mom and dad, I feel like I'm here, but I'm not here. When I said that, my mom looked at me like, what are you on? Like, my dad said, I know how you feel. And he told me a story about when he was little. My phone's dying. He told me a story about when he was little, and he explained everything how he felt. And I don't know how old he said he was, like 7. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not the only one. That's why me and my dad can connect on a whole nother level that I can't connect with somebody else. Like me and my mom are super close in other ways, but in this way, and that's how I am. Sometimes even now, like I don't know if it was like, I would say 3 or 4 months ago, but time goes by so fast. Probably 6 months ago, I went to my dad's house and I just told my dad, like, Dad, I just don't feel good. And he said, what's wrong with you? And I said, I don't know. And I still remember, like, I told him, I don't know what's wrong with me. He said, what do you mean? I said, I don't know. I'm just so sad. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to take a shower. I just feel really, really bad. And my dad, you could see him and people could think he's an asshole or he's tough or he's this and that, but my dad's one of my very best friends, and so is my mom. They're always there for me, and I told you I'm such a crybaby. Nah. He said, you're gonna be fine, Francine. You felt like this before. You're gonna be fine. You need to get up and you need to do something. And he's the only one that could tell me anything about my weight, and I'm not gonna get upset. Like, what's up, gorda? Or he'll tell me and Jacob, like, gorda and gordo. And we don't get offended. He's the only one, because I know he means it from a good place. And he'll say, don't mind my hands, you guys. I dyed my hair black, and my he'll say, like, just little steps, Francine. Go and walk a couple times around the block, or go. It's not gonna be overnight, but you need to do something. You need to do something every day, and you need to get up, and you're gonna be fine. You need to lose weight. You need to feel better about yourself. And just him talking to me and telling me that I'm gonna be okay. That's like, sometimes that's all I need. and I do call on God, and he always tells Francine, but when's the last time you went to church? And people probably think like, because you guys, if you know my dad, you know how he talks, you know how, but my dad knows God, and my dad has the biggest fucking heart ever. And my dad was, what my dad knows the things of God, and my dad knows, it's like, you need to find a church. You don't need to go to church with me, but you need to find a church, and you need to feel good about yourself. You need to pray more. You need to, and I'm like, I know, Dad, I know. And yeah, but he understands, you know, like, more than, because Jacob doesn't suffer from anxiety, so he understands me to a certain point, like, but I can only imagine how frustrating it can get, you know, like, he does it every time when I need to went to the hospital, like, so many times, dude. Now I don't even call him, like, if something happens, I just go myself, because, or I'll just, you know, he'll call me if he's at work or whatever. But before, no, I skipped a lot of different times, but there's been times when I've gone to the hospital, like, many times. I don't know how the hell he didn't run out of this damn relationship, because it was especially at the beginning, dude. Like, he barely got married, and I'll be like, take me to the hospital, and everybody, like, at my house, because we lived with my mom and dad at that time. I remember Bianca and my dad, and I think one of my brother-in-laws was there, and they were like, dude, like, relax, nothing's gonna happen. And I was like, take me to the hospital, like, hitting the freaking table, and Jacob's like, okay, let's go. And then I went on the freeway, and I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I just needed air, you guys, like. But it would be like that. My dad's like, Francine, you're gonna go over there, and you're gonna have to pay a copay, and you're gonna have more bills. Like, Francine, you're okay, like. But sometimes that's what you just need, like. So now I am learning, but sometimes I still have hard times. Like, this was probably about 3 months ago, that I walked inside of the T-Mobile store, and I felt like I was gonna fall back. Like, I've never fainted before, but this is what I imagined it felt like. And I was like, what the hell? And I got like a head change, like, I felt weird, and the lady was asking me stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm here to get a phone. And I was walking towards the phones, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I gotta go. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well, I'm gonna have to go. So Rachel, my father, and over there, and they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't know. And I don't know if you guys could tell, my mouth is a little bit crooked, and it hasn't gone back all the way normal, but I know it will one day. I'm hoping it will. This side was coming down a lot. Like, when I would smile, it would be really, like, bad, and I was like scared. It was doing that for a couple days, and then if this was completely numb, like, I was pinching myself, and it was completely numb. So I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I was like, it's probably stress. Like, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna. But, like, when I would lay on my bed, it would feel weird. Like, when you go to the dentist, you know, it's numb. Like, I was tripping out. Like, what the fuck? What happened? I thought I slept on it, and then, no, the next day it felt like that still. And then going on the third day, I'm like, this isn't normal. But the day I went, and I go, well, fuck, and I go, and my chest is hurting. And then I think Rachel asked me, are you having anxiety? I'm like, no. Like, I feel fine. I'm not even, my heart's not beating fast. I don't feel like I'm scared. Like, I don't feel nothing. I'm like, well, but let me go, because I don't want my mouth to be all, you know, like, I know that stuff could be serious. Some people suffer from that, and I don't want to, you know, I had signs of different things. So I went, and then I told him, like, this is like, not hurting. This was, like, all chueco, and I told him that, you know, that I felt like I was in a faint. I just felt really bad, and I told him, like, I just want you to check that I'm not having a heart attack, that I'm not having a stroke. I said, and I don't feel like I have history with anxiety and depression, but I don't feel like it's that. Like, I've never felt like this before, and especially my mouth is what's worrying me the most. So then I went back and all that. They did an EKG that came out normal. The doctor asked me, like, a series of questions, and I was like, no. And then he's all like, he said that I was dehydrated, and he said that this was stress, that it was from stress, and that I probably could have been lacking blood or iron. And I don't know how interested you guys are in these these story times, but I could do the other one about, like, yeah, I'll do the another one separately, because it's about something else. But and I know this one's already gonna be super long, but yeah, the doctor had said, well, maybe it's that, but go to your primary doctor and this and that. And I was like, I just want to make sure that this isn't going to go back to normal. And he's all like, yes. He's like, it should go back in 48 hours from now. If it doesn't go back in 48 hours, then come back. And he was right. It took a little bit more than 48 hours. I'm thinking more like 72 hours. But it went almost, it's cold outside, so my hand's so shaky. It went back for the most part, but in my pictures especially. So that's why I take them to the side sometimes, because you could see that my mouth is a little bit crooked, but nothing like before at all. It was like really bad, and I noticed more when my mother-in-law told me. She's all like, Mija, why is your mouth like that? And then I was like, oh shit, like if it's noticeable, then something's going on, you know? But yeah, I just wanted to say, if you're suffering from anxiety or depression, you're not the only one. You're not going crazy. It's not all in your head. It's not like, it is a real thing. And anxiety, depression is actually in the Bible. So it is a real thing. And you're not the only one suffering from it. There's a lot of people just like us. And the more I see like on YouTube and stuff, there's more story times. There's more videos about this. And yeah. If you don't suffer from it and you never have, thank you, Jesus. But if you haven't, then don't be like, oh, it's all in your head, or why do you feel like that, or why do you get like that, or don't get irritated. That's why, you guys, I don't have a lot of friends. I don't, and that's besides people being fake and stuff. That's why I don't always hang out, because I can make plans today and tomorrow I can wake up feeling like shit. God willing, I don't. But I'm just giving it an example. Like, sometimes there's good days, sometimes there's bad days. And I can't tell you that we're going to go to Universal Studios tomorrow if I don't know how I'm going to feel tomorrow. You know what I mean? And some people don't understand that. And some people are like, oh, but you need to get out of the house. You never do this and that. First of all, clubbing and shit like that is not for me. It's never has been for me. I've probably been to the club 3 times, and one time was like 3 weeks ago. I don't care for it really. Like, I'll go for going with family and stuff, but to go out with friends or to go out, like, I'm already married and I've never been into that type of stuff. For me, I'd rather have a carne asada at home, be with family, play games and stuff like that, have a bonfire. But I don't really like to do stuff like that. I'm not into it. So, and a lot of people don't understand that, and that's okay with me. It's not for everybody to understand. But yeah, I have, like, I could count on one hand my friends, and they do understand. I don't have to be texting them, calling them every day, because they understand where I'm coming from, just like I would understand if they were dealing with something, you know. But anyways, that's gonna be the end of my story. It was super duper long, and I'm sorry that it took 2 days to do, but I can't even imagine finishing this in one day, because it was so long, and I'm sure I left a lot of stuff out. But yes, that's why I wasn't doing videos and stuff for the last like month, because I was having more bad days than good days, you know, and I was just trying to get myself together and trying to do what was important. Like, I still have to handle stuff at home. I still have to be a wife. I still have to be, you know what I mean? And yeah, but it's still not over yet. Like, I still haven't gone 100% back to normal, but I'm praying and hoping that I do. But it's okay. It's only a season, and I will feel better. And thank God that I woke up today, and thank God that I'm breathing, that I'm able to walk, talk. So I thank God for all of those things. I can't just be complaining all the time either. But yeah, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.